Hello, hello, hello. Buenas tardes. Hoy es el domingo. Okay. Hoy es domingo, el 12 de noviembre del 2023. Son las now the time now is son las 6:10 p.m. Okay, today is Sunday, November 12th, the year 2023. Time now is 6:10 p.m. Okay, as usual these days, I didn't want to talk very much, so I was even thinking about skipping this speaking practice, but I didn't want to skip today somehow, so I'm speaking now. I really hope that this helps me to improve my speaking skills. All right, how are you doing? I'm doing okay, but today I am a bit tired mentally because of many reasons. Okay, yesterday I watched a very interesting YouTube video. It was from this Japanese woman. I actually there was one time when I was talking about her somewhere in my previous videos, though. She's not a professional psychiatrist or anything, but she has this YouTube channel, her own YouTube channel, in which she explains various kinds of people's personalities, tendencies, characters, and she also explains where those tendencies might have come from. And when I came across her video for the first time, it was about a week ago or so, and she was talking about some people who have this tendency of trying to become too independent, meaning that people with this tendency or character, those people were raised to be that way, though. So they didn't actually want to be like that, but that's how they are now, and most of them are not satisfied with their tendency or character, or I don't know how to say, personality, peculiarity. I don't know how to say this word, but it's one of my passive words, so I don't know how to use this word. Peculiarity. I don't know. I just want to say a word that sounds like this: peculiarity. Okay. And that kind of person, and I thought I was one of them, actually, who tried to be too independent. People with this tendency or character, disposition, okay, try to do everything by themselves because they can't ask others for help. And they tend to be a perfectionist. They tend to be perfectionists, and they tend to take all or nothing approach. So they're afraid of making mistakes, and they were very afraid of making themselves look like a failure or failures. So if they think that they are not doing very well to be perfect, they tend to consider themselves a failure, total failure. And so they are very drastic. They tend to have a very, they tend to take such a drastic approach toward their life, their their life and their attitude, their future, their present situation, whatever. They are very drastic and very, I don't know, extraordinary, and they are very, I don't know how to explain this, but they are very difficult, okay? And for me, yeah, I'm like that, okay? I'm obvious. It's obvious that I have this kind of tendency, and this makes my life more difficult to lead, actually. And she said that it's going to be even harder as I get older, as people get older, okay? And but to understand where the tendency of myself puzzling, which looks a bit puzzling or weird, or I don't know how to say this, but where this tendency actually came from. In order to understand where this tendency came from, makes me feel better, because this doesn't solve everything. This doesn't change my peculiarity or tendency or disposition completely. This doesn't help change completely, but still to understand what it is, okay, makes me feel a bit relieved, makes me feel better, because without knowing it, it looks even more mysterious, right? But probably I have this tendency because of my mother and father, my parents. How my parents did, what they did to me when I was very small, can be related to what have made who I am now. And by the time I was, let's say, a teen, like when was that? When I was 15, I already started having some trouble with my own character's disposition, and because I didn't like myself at all back then already, and I began to be self-conscious already, because I was in teens, and I was an adolescent, and that is a very difficult age, right? And when I started my high school years at the age of 16, my birthday is September, so I didn't I was about to be 16, okay, and the school year starts in April in Japan, and just after I started my high school, it was okay, it was refreshing, and and I worked a lot to stand out, to make myself stand out in the class. And I worked too hard. And this is very typical of me. At first, I really worked hard, and I get so tired. I get tired easily. And by the time May came, I was already tired. I began to be tired, and then the summer vacation, first summer vacation for high school, came, and I did a lot of part-time job during summer, and I had experienced a lot of things during the summer. And then in September, I turned 16, and the second term started, and then I was very nervous. I was very sensitive, and some things that some of my friends, classmates, were talking about, they didn't say that to me directly, but they were talking about something that was actually not related to me, but I heard them talking about something, and it was about some other classmates, and they were not saying good things about that girl, okay, this particular girl, who was one of our groups. And I couldn't believe my ears, because I had never thought that they would say something like that, something bad about the girl in our group, because usually they seem to be on good terms with each other. So I couldn't believe them. I couldn't believe what they were talking about. Actually, the girl asked them to let me see their notebook, because the girl sometimes girl was absent from school, and she didn't take some classes, and so she asked them to let her see their notebook to catch up with what they learned, okay? But they were not happy about it, and they were complaining about it behind the girl's back. And I was shocked to hear them saying something nasty like that. And then it hurt my feelings, even though they were not talking about me, but probably I thought that they might have been saying something bad about myself too behind my back. I was just that was what I imagined myself. That was not the truth. There was nothing I could find it out, though, but I was so naive, and I was so sensitive, and I tended to feel that way. And then it made me reluctant to go to school, and gradually I began to be absent from school. At first, 1 day a week, and then the next week 2 days a week, and eventually on the second term, I couldn't go to school for 30 days or so in total, which is pretty much, right? Pretty many, right? And the winter vacation came, and I didn't know if I could go back to school, when the next term, the third term, would begin in January, on January 8th or so. And I was afraid to be among all those classmates in class because I just felt as if I wasn't existing. I mean, I didn't exist, okay? I felt as if I didn't existed in the class because I felt that nobody would care about me. I was all alone. I was actually with other friends or classmates in that group. We were about 3 or 4 people, girls in the group. But I didn't, since the incident that hurt my feelings. I mean, when I heard the other girls talking about this girl, since then I couldn't trust them anymore, and it made me feel as if I was all alone in the class. Nobody cared. In those days, my parents were not getting along with each other also, and my father actually started his new business, and he had a business in which he sold foods, I mean ready-made foods or pickled vegetables in stores or supermarkets. He has this his own shop in a supermarket, and he decided to have his new store in the new supermarket, pretty far away from our house, and they were really, my father and my mother both were very busy to prepare for that, especially during the summer, okay? And my family, it was a very difficult moment for my family. My father was busy with his new business, and but my parents were not getting along with each other, and I had some serious problems about my friends, classmates, and I had gone through many difficult times as a teenager. In that year, our family was in a very difficult situation. Okay, and I probably didn't have anyone to talk to about my worries, my problems, something like that. I have only this friend. I worked with together as a part-time job, doing my part-time job at a supermarket near my house. She's the same age as I was, and we went to different high schools, but our house were close. Actually, we went to the same junior high school, but we didn't know about each other in junior high, but in high school, when we went to different high schools, we started working in the same supermarket, as a timer, and we became friends since then. And we talked a lot after our jobs, and we had a very fun time with each other. I think she was the only friend that I was able to talk to back then. And I didn't like my high school because all other classmates were totally different from me. I mean, their personalities were much more optimistic, and they are very loud, noisy, and but I was very shy, and I was very not talkative in front of them because I felt inferiority in front of them, among them. I was not confident at all, and this tendency began to appear when I started to be a teenager. Actually, I used to be a very active girl when I was very little. In kindergarten, I was a tomboy, and I was a bully, actually. Okay, I was a bully. I remember bullying other kids in kindergarten. I was not a very good girl. I was very selfish. I was very self-centered, and I was very naughty. And I remember I was very bad girl. And I had a older brother, 6 years older than I am. And back then, when I was in kindergarten, my brother was probably in sixth grade or 7th grade, okay? And he used to have a lot of problems also. I mean, physical problem, okay? Physical and mental problem. Physical problem that might have come from his mental problem. Like I don't know how to say this in English, but he peed during the night. I mean, he failed to pee during the night. I mean, wet his bed, okay? He used to wet his bed in the 6th grade. That might be a bit problem, right? So my mother was worried, and she took him, my brother, to a doctor, okay, in the university, okay. It was a university hospital. It was a pretty large hospital. I think she was another local doctor. At first, I guess she brought him to the local doctor, and then she was introduced to go to visit the university hospital, okay. And then at that time, she brought me there too. And I remember there, my brother was asked to play some toys in the playground. Like, it was in that room. It was in the hospital room, but there was this like sandbox, huge sandbox with some toys in them, and he was asked to play with them as he wished, as he wanted, Okay, and then the doctor examined how he did, how he was doing, to to examine, right? Examine his mental state. And I admired him because I wasn't allowed to play in the sandbox myself. So I was jealous, okay, because only my brother, who was a sixth grader, was asked to was allowed to play in the sandbox. I was jealous. I couldn't do it. So I remember that scene very clearly. It shows that my brother also had some mental problems already in the sixth grade. When he was in sixth grade. Okay. I think that shows that my parents didn't raise us well. They had themselves had some problems, their own problems, and since they have their own problems, they couldn't raise us well because they didn't know how to raise us healthy. Let me go back to where I was. Okay, I was in the first high school year, and on the second term, it was just before the third term started. I didn't know if I could go back to school, but on New Year's Day, we customarily exchange New Year's cards with friends and family, relatives, and close friends or acquaintances. Okay, and then I didn't expect to get any New Year's card from my classmates in the high school, but this classmate, who was not from that group I was in, she gave me the New Year card to me. Gave me the New Year card, and that was a pleasant surprise to me. And somehow that encouraged me so much because she wrote her message on the postcard, New Year card, saying that I will be looking forward to seeing you in the new term. And I never expected to be heard from anyone from the class in high school. I'm not sure if I got New Year's cards from other classmates at the time. I didn't remember that, but I clearly remember that one of the classmates who are not one of the girls in the group, okay, outside the group, gave me the postcard, greeting card. So I was so surprised and I was so glad, okay, and it encouraged me so much, and I somehow I decided to go back to school from the new term, and I did. And at first, on the first day, I was really uncomfortable being in the class because that was a totally awkward moment to me. I wasn't in the class for such a long time, and I felt as if nobody had expected me to come. And when I went back to school, the girl who had given me the New Year card came over to me saying that I'm very happy to see you again, or something like that. That was really good. That was really encouraging to me. But I also felt that I was alone in the class again because I was not alone physically because I was with all those classmates, but I don't know, mentally, okay, not physically, but spiritually, I don't know how to say this, but I couldn't help but feeling that I was all alone. Nobody could stand by me except for that girl, okay? But the girl was not from my group, and she's in another group. So we were not best friends with each other, okay? So she was just one of the classmates, and I liked her very much because she was so kind and nice and sweet, but she was not my closest friend, and I thought that I couldn't count on her too much. So this just shows that my tendency to try to be too independent, okay? I cannot depend on others because I'm afraid that others would feel bad about me if I try to depend on them. That's probably because I couldn't depend on my parents from the bottom of my heart to my heart's content, because they're strict. They're not close to me. I mean, my parents were not close to me deep down in a real sense. So it made me feel so lonely, and I probably gave up depending on others, counting on others, or referring to others. So I was all alone. I was always alone. And even now, I feel the same. But since I understand that where my tendency or disposition might have come from now, I understand it more clearly. It makes me feel better, and this helps me to think about what I should do about my personality problems. Some people say that it's nonsense to understand where your problem must have come from in the first place, because it wouldn't change your past, right? It wouldn't change all the things that happened to you. But I don't think that's right, because if you understand what your problem must have come from, or what might be the problem of what might be the cause of your problem, it makes you feel better, because I cannot explain this very well, but this is very important to know the origin of your problem, because that way you can choose what way you should take to solve your problems, right? If the parents are the problem, the cause of the problem, you can. It doesn't mean that you should blame them, okay? But it's not your fault, right? You are not wrong. You are just struggling with your problems, but it's not your fault. Your parents must have had lots of problems, unknown problems themselves when they were raising you, and that was not their fault either, right? So, and go back to the YouTuber, I watched whose video I watched yesterday. Yeah, that was about people who cannot depend on others very much, and yeah, I cannot explain it very well now, but I watched that video yesterday, and it was interesting. Actually, it was interesting. I learned a lot of things from that video, and it had something to do. It had a lot to do with my problems I still have in this day at the age of 59, okay? And on the comment section, some people commented on it, and they all said that they thought that the video was talking about themselves, and just watching the video and knowing what their problems might have come from, probably their family situation, their parents, okay, were to blame, and they understood that the gist of what might have caused their personality problems. It made them feel better. It doesn't mean that just watching the video and knowing what might have been the cause of their problem changes their life all at once, but they must have been happy because they were able to understand that there are other people who have the similar problems, who were in the same situation, and who feel the same way as they are. I forgot the beginning of the sentence, but okay. When they watched the video, and I was one of them, they would feel better because they understood that there are some other people who have similar experiences as they did, and they are not alone, okay? And I was able to feel that I was not alone either. I'll talk about this one maybe some other time, because I'm not organized. I cannot make the story organized today. So I just wanted to talk about something today for my practice, and that's about it for today. Okay. Anyway, I've been talking for 40 minutes now. It's about time. Okay. Thank you very much, and I'll be back maybe tomorrow too. Okay. I'll have a great new week. Okay. And I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon. Okay, bye for now.